Hi everyone, welcome back. We're back again with another live stream in USSS this time. I hope I am audible to everyone out there, and I hope that everyone is having a good day. Let me just quickly ensure everything is perfectly set up as it was. Um, Perfect. Now, Uh, before we begin, obviously it took a lot of time for us to set everything up, so subscribing would be a great option. No, Benj, I did not steal your video idea. So without further ado, let me undeafen. If you're watching and you're in USSS, make sure you're in the community stage channel because the stream you are watching will be quite delayed by a few seconds, that is, but be a little bit up to date. You can join the community channel, although I doubt you'll be able to see the stream alongside. Um, Although being in the stream does add an exciting video element to it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Lovely. For those of you who can now hear me in the community events, what do you call it? Community state channel. The stream is now live, so that would be lovely. Joining us today is the Federal Overseer Almasap of USSS and the Assistant Federal Overseer Waki. Well, guys, waiting on you now. If it's possible for you to join the game, you can very much hop on and watch this event live in real time, which is in the audience right next to our stage that is set up today. So, it's lovely. Let me just set it up now. Before we do begin, if you guys do have any questions for our lovely two guests today, you can very much pop them into chat room in USSS. You can pop them up in the stream chat, or you can put them in the thread, which is, I believe, not thread, the channel Q&A questions in the USSS Discord, or you can just pop them in my DM straight up. So, let me just quickly respond to this PM. One moment. Yep, Marine 1 can land and take off whenever it likes. It would be great if some moderator could set the time to daytime and make sure they do regularly keep doing that, because no one likes the night time. Lovely. So, Amasap and Waki, let's start with you guys' introductions and we'll move on from there.
Right, hello. I'm Sab, the federal overseer of this community. I have been a federal overseer for like a year and a half now. So y'all must know me.
Hi, I'm Wacky, and I am the Assistant Federal Overseer of USSS. And I was previously the Federal Overseer for a couple months, but I came back about 2 months ago.
Lovely, it's great for you guys to join us today. So we're just going to start off with the questions. Amasap, you're a federal overseer, and every day I assume you have a shit ton of things to do. So what would you say is the hardest thing to do as federal overseer?
I mean, the hardest thing is mostly like hosting meetings with everyone because, like, with the time zones, it's pretty hard to just have a meeting set up with everyone who you need to meet with. So that's like really hard thing to do because like sometimes it's 2 p.m. my time and it's like 3 a.m. their time, so we cannot really meet up. But yeah, other than that, like
That's not working. Hello, can you hear me? Ama? Oh dear
can
me.
you guys hear me well?
Yes, we can. Sorry, my
Yes.
Discord decided to crash.
Okay.
Continue from where you were. I'm gonna assume you were done with your response. Waki, what about you? What's the hardest thing about being the assistant federal overseer?
Shadow?
Amma? Hello? Can you guys hear me? I'm looking in chat room. Oh dear me. That's gone. I'm looking in chat room. Am I not
Can you guys hear Shadow?
Oh dear, we're already running into problems. Alright, let's rejoin that one.
Shadow, no one's able to hear you, so I think there might be a problem.
Am I audible?
Alright, hello, Shadow?
Am I audible now?
Yes, that's
Yes.
better.
Discord decided to crash on me. That was perfect. Wacky, your
Right.
in game I cannot read while in free cam. You're aware I have to toggle free cam each time.
Alright. So we were at the question, what was the hardest thing? My answer was like setting up the meetings.
Yes, what was the hardest thing to do as federal overseer in general?
Pretty much like having V2 roll out because we had to just change a lot of stuff from version 1 to version 2. And it was pretty hard for me to just set everything in place, like to just make version 2 a good version. I mean, right now, like as you can see, not a lot of people are happy with V2. So we're still like trying to fix it and try and come up with new plans on how we can improve the game and actually have like an actual good V2. So that is like really just the hardest thing that I am working on right now.
Right, what about you, Wacky?
I'd say the hardest thing for me is just making sure that everyone's caught up with everything that's going on on our side of things as well as like department side of things, and just being knowledgeable of what everybody's doing.
Right, okay. Let's get started with the community questions after that. Discord crashing has really messed up all the channels. Foreign affairs. A lot of people are here from USA. They do share a mutual group. So some people were wondering, is foreign affairs going to be a thing here as well?
Yes, there will be. We're actually working on it. It's almost done. It's going to be like an AFA server, like how USIR has. We're gonna have that as well. And we're gonna be allied with the USAR, so we will start to do events with them, in-game events or like VC events, and it's gonna be pretty cool. We are looking forward for it. We're just like setting the AFA server, and it should be done somewhere this week.
Right, lovely. So we will be having AFA around the corner, I'm going to assume. Let's see. MPD has been kind of laid back with an update, don't you think? When do you think MPD will be seeing a big revolutionizing update?
Well, right now, everything that MPD has been looking for has been more development-wise, and right now, we are in this process of looking for developers who can help, help departments achieve their requests and stuff, and hopefully, make them more better and more functioning stuff. I know MPD has requested a flight regiment, and so we've been looking into that some more on our side, and I think that could become a possibility.
Right. What general plans, though, do you have for the community in the future? We've talked about MPD, but you have a lot of other departments. You have National Guard, executive staff. So what are our plans on that, and what do we plan to do in the future? Let's start with Amasap on that one, and then we'll move on to Waki.
All right. One of our plans is changing a lot of stuff in V2, and that is about like civilians and people who are in the department. So for civilians, we will be adding like civilian jobs with an XP system. So how that will work is you'll be able to have like civilian job role play. For example, like to be in a fire department, and there will like be fires everywhere in the White House, and then like fire department has to respond to these fires. Same thing as like your MPD, but just not really how MPD works. So like people who will be able to like give tickets, just like simple stuff. These will be also um, um, civilian jobs with an XP system. And how this XP system is going to work is you basically have to like do a lot of tasks to get more XP. And from that XP, you'll be able to rank up. And when you get ranked up, you will be receiving a lot of money. So the purpose of this game, like what we didn't have in V2, and like what we don't have in V2, and we didn't have in version 1 as well, is like a purpose, just something for someone to work towards to. Because like people, when they join the game right now, they get like very bored easily because there's nothing you can actually work towards to and get like reward for that. So that is like a big problem that we have right now. And how we're going to solve that is by actually like adding money currency. I mean, as you can see, we have money in the game, but you cannot do anything with it. So what we are going to do is we're going to add this money system. And every time you get more money, you'll be able to like buy your own cars. You'll be able to customize your own cars. You will be able to buy like a room in the White House. You'll be able to buy like a jet, you know, and you'll be able to buy guns, cars, like all these kind of stuff. So that is like for civilians, just like the civilian job and this XP system. Now for departments, for example, for like Secret Service, right now what we don't have is like a difference between each rank. So what's like the difference between a director and a special agent? There is no like really big difference. It's only like few guns, you know. So what we are going to do is we will be actually like giving special, like how we're gonna work is we're gonna give the agent role permission to like have please someone tell that dude to get off. To oh my God. All right. My bad. So how's it gonna work? Secret Service, like agents will be able to like get indoors, have like access level 2, you know. They will have a little gun. And how they're going to get trained to like a special agent in charge is by an NPC training. So like how that works is you will have like an NPC that is going to train people. It's really just like in a script. So we don't need executive staff to train people anymore because executive staff has been always like trying to work and train these people and it doesn't work very well. So like this NPC system will actually save us a lot of time and a lot of effort. So once they pass this NPC system, they'll get like to special agent. So there is no XP system at all. They'll get like special agent, and in special agent they'll like get roof access. They'll get access to, like one more car, like one more uniform. In the same way, they will get ranked up to special agent in charge. And the special agent in charge will actually have access to command people around. So like he will have a little script to tell like agents what to do or special agents what to do. Like he can give them tasks. And by doing these tasks, they will like once they're done, they'll be able to get money from it. So that's it for like civilian jobs, civilians, and Secret Service. Maybe Wacky can tell us more about the other departments.
Yeah, so for other departments, what we're looking for is like kind of the same thing where, like how we mentioned with MPD, there's also National Guard. They have some things that they want to change as well. Oh, and adding on to what AMR just said about changes for Secret Service and stuff, we're also looking forward to adding some kind of guide for people to follow in game, so that way there's just less confusion when people join and they know where to go. They know how to join the Discord, how to become a agent training and stuff. But going back on like National Guard and stuff, just making sure like they have all the needed materials and stuff, and they're getting right now going through a revamp of one of their regiments, and so that'll be pretty cool to see. As for CIA, kind of the same thing. They're gonna be receiving some more cooler stuff. One idea that was brought up to me was them possibly having a Black Hawk. Nothing was confirmed or anything, but that this is all stuff that we're listing down that could potentially be added in the future.
Right, so we talk about stuff being added in the future. So obviously that means more developers are going to be joining us. So are we seeing anything in that regard? Maybe expanse of the development team, maybe hiring more individuals?
Yes, we will be hiring more developers. But for now, we're looking for like good developers who are actually able to like script things very well and build things very well. But as you know, we already have developers. Like we're looking for only like 1 or 2 developers, so we can get stuff done as soon as possible. So if you're like a good developer and you would like to work for us, make sure to send me a DM and we can talk about how and what and about payment.
Right. We talked earlier about AFA. So when people join that, they will be getting special roles like diplomats in external service that we ally with, or how are we planning to structure that?
How that's gonna work? I mean, like this AFA thing is like pretty new to USSS. So, like we're not 100% sure yet, like what's the best to do. But like we can add some rules that can give them like extra access or in-game access. So like they'll be able to like join, to like get in the White House. They'll be like whitelisted. They will be able to like have tours, stuff like that. Because like we're ally with them, and like we should have events with them. So if they like know how the map looks like, that'll be pretty useful. So they can just plan a whole event and do it together in the White House. So yes, they might get a role or like special thing in a department or like in the main game.
When we were developing the game White House V2, I personally was there though, but people are wondering um, what were the biggest challenges you faced when developing this game? What were the biggest difficulties that you had to overcome?
I mean, the thing is, like I wasn't developing the game by myself. It was Zanance, the owner, and he was doing that with other developers. So, like I'm not 100% sure what was like the hardest thing to do for them in the game, but it was definitely like building the White House, like this whole game, and make it not laggy for users who don't have like a very good PC. Because I remember Zan was telling us about like how hard it was, and because like they had to do a lot of stuff in studio to actually reduce lag for such a big map. As you can remember, like version 1, it was a smaller map, but it was really laggy. But in version 2, like it's a bigger map and it's less laggy. So that was really just the hardest thing to do.
Right. You have a bunch, obviously, you can't run the group alone, so which is where the administration comes in. So you have HQ, HighCom. From these HQ, SLs, and logistics, would you say you have a favorite?
Sorry, I was able to hear the question pretty well.
I was saying, is this better?
Yes.
Who would you say is your favorite SL from your administration?
Ooh, that's a hard question. But I don't really have like a favorite senior logistics or favorite logistics or favorite high comp. It's really like all my staff. I appreciate all of my staff, and like I don't favorite one more than another because that will be just unfair. But like I just favor pretty much like every staff of mine. and the work that they put in this community.
I'm the same way. I really appreciate everybody for their hard work that they have done in this community, regardless of their rank, if they're HQ, high com, or even like somebody lower than that. Like, I just appreciate everyone for, dedicating their time to the community and helping it make the community a better place.
How did you guys find USSS when you first joined? Because obviously you were down there with the civilians at one point and the agents and the AITs. So when you were down there, what did it feel like? What were your impressions of the group?
Oh boy. Well, how I found the group was I actually found out from a friend who was like, "Oh, look at this group. It's like something different," because I've never joined any kind of group like White House. And so I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll join, see where I go with this. Might be like a something I join for like a week or two." Went through the AIT training and then agent training, not AIT. And then I joined a department, and the rest is history. Ranked up from there.
Or same thing here. I mean, I joined because I liked like role play games, and I liked how the game was set up when it like first was out. So I joined as like a civilian, and then like did my training and ranked my way up. I also like joined executive staff at the time. It was called HighCom, to be like well known in the community, and I used to do like a lot of trainings. But like I got fired like 5-6 times, and then like got it back again, then got fired, then got it back in, then got fired, until like someone actually noticed me and gave me a spot in HQ. But it was not easy.
Right. Roblox added voice chat a long time ago. Is there a chance we can get that in USSS anytime soon?
I mean, it might be an option. Like we might add it, but not every user will have access to it because some users don't like to give their ID to Roblox. So we can add it, but I don't think it will be very useful.
Yeah, I don't think all the swearing can be put up with. Roblox voice chat is not too trustworthy these days. What groups are we looking to ally with? For example, obviously you'll be allying with USA when your foreign affairs come out, but what groups are we looking to ally with?
That's a good question. I mean, we already have requests from United States Coast Guard, um, and that's it pretty much for now. We will be looking for other groups as well when once the server is ready and like once the documents are ready. Um, so we will be allying with just like army groups pretty much.
Right. Okay, so new teams obviously will be coming as time goes on, but what about buildings? Pentagon, what is it? Eisenhower Executive Building, Capitol, um, and so on and so forth. Will we be getting these big administration buildings?
It's definitely a possibility. I think it would be pretty interesting to see where people take their role play when it comes in game with adding those buildings in. I know previously we had the Washington Monument for some time in V1, but then that was removed. But it's definitely something that could be considered in the future.
Right. Let's see. If you guys have any other those watching questions, there's 4 places for you to pop them in: chat room, my DMs, the question channel, or my live stream chat. So if you have any questions, pop them in and we'll ask them, or at least I'll try my best to ask them up here in the stream. The sirens in the cars have been broken for a while. Are there any plans on fixing those?
That's a good question, but I don't think we will be able to fix like on the cards that we have right now because Roblox removed all audio a few months ago. So we have to make our own audio, like get it approved by Roblox, or have like an approved audio from Roblox itself, and then add it to one of our cards. So it might get added, but it will take a bit.
Right. Will there be a mod building at one point?
What's that?
Departments have their own buildings. Do you plan on adding one for the moderation team?
Oh yeah, we actually discussed something like this not too long ago, possibly for future trainings and such, or even offices.
What are the plans with the National Guard team? Because if I'm not wrong, they had a big update a while back with their base revamp. So what are the plans there? What are we going to be redoing on that end?
We will be actually redoing the whole buildings because and she was not really satisfied with them. They weren't actually good enough for what they like needed. So we will be actually like redoing all the buildings, and we will be adding like a whole system in the buildings that they can use, like an in classroom system with a board that can like move and all. So we have to redo all these buildings, and that is like not too far away. Like we should release that update within a month or like even less. So it's pretty much like the buildings.
Right. Let's see what other questions we have. Will the FBI be returning? Because people have been sticking with CIA for quite some time. So maybe a change over to the FBI would be nice. Ultimately, why was CIA brought out in the first place? Why didn't we just stick with FBI? And are there any plans to bring back that old team?
There are no plans to bring back FBI at the moment. CIA just seemed to make more sense in the past, and people seem to really enjoy CIA's purpose and what they do as a job. And I kind of agree with that myself. I think it's just really interesting how CIA runs their department. And with FBI, it just doesn't seem like there's not enough roleplay based at the White House for them.
What do you guys have for breakfast every morning regularly?
Oh God. I mean, I just make a cup of coffee with like some cookies. Yeah, that's it pretty much. Like I don't really eat a lot in the morning.
I eat a banana every morning, and I drink caffeinated water like 5 times out of the week.
If someone new was joining USSS, what would be your one bit of advice giving them? What should they expect from USSS and its departments?
Advice I would give, I would definitely advise them to join the department. I feel like joining a department is the easiest way to rank up for the time being. Just like AMR mentioned earlier about changes to Secret Service, that could potentially change. But just joining a department, making yourself out there, maybe even making some friends, that's the best way you can definitely rank up in this group. Just making yourself known out there. Be a good person.
Yeah, exactly. Like what Waki said, I totally agree.
Right. Well, people were a bit questioning the realism behind CIA and FBI, given that CIA is usually foreign and FBI handles internal affairs. Although that has already been tackled. The cars themselves, we talked about sirens, but in general, the quality of the cars isn't the best. So, do we plan on redoing anything there?
Yes. Like the whole car system, I don't really like it right now how it is. in the game, because just the cards aren't really like cool enough, yeah, and they're laggy. So what we're planning is to like make a whole new card system, and we're looking for a developer who's able to like make a whole new card system that's not laggy. And pretty much like we don't need we're not going to have like inside a vehicle details. It's pretty much like outside. So like the vehicle will be pretty much like a texture, so it doesn't lag the game, and it will look detailed. So yeah, like we might just replace all our vehicles. Same thing to the marine one.
What are your plans regarding moderation? Any updates on that front in terms of the exploit, what do you call it, anti-exploit stuff, the commands, the system in general? What are we looking on?
The anti-exploit, I'm sure there's plans to hopefully make it so the game. We were thinking of making it so there's like a not age requirement, but like an account age requirement, if that makes sense. Like hopefully, like we were looking at 2 weeks possibly, so that way people with alt accounts can't just keep joining and exploiting in the game. And in terms of moderation and like what they do and stuff, I want to look into some things personally on how to improve moderation and help them do more in game, so that way they're not just sitting around moderating, they can actually enjoy playing the game at the same time as well.
Let's see here. I did receive a question. There it is. Will we stick with third-person shooter, or are there any plans from moving away from that?
Sorry, what?
FPS. We're currently at third-person shooter, TPS. Any plans on switching over to FPS?
I don't think so. Not currently. Like this gun system is made by us, so like it's our own gun system, and I don't think like we'll be really like changing the whole system, how it works. So I think like we'll stay with this. Just like some few stuff that we need to fix in the gun system itself, and then like we should be fine.
What are you guys' opinions on the current department? CIA, SSES, NG, how are they doing? What would you say they need improvement in terms of personnel and how they act? Any advice for them? Your current opinions on them?
I feel like, honestly, all of the departments have new HQ, except for MPD. Thank you, Drill and Glacial. But I think all of the HQ are doing really well. The High Command are doing really well. Normally, if there's like a problem with High Command and headquarters, I usually bring something up with them personally or with their higher ups, depending on their rank. And it normally gets sorted out pretty quickly. We don't really have any issues with our higher command staff. I always advise people that if they do have issues, that they can always come to me, or even like their department's logistics and senior logistics if it goes to that point. As for department staff, I normally don't focus on the lower ranks because that would just be a lot for me. That's more so for high command and headquarters job to kind of look at their members internally. But I think overall, like all the departments are doing really well right now with what they're doing and stuff, and they do a really good job with keeping us updated on what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like you said, so like all departments are like doing like really good because they are actually like doing their best. But what the problem is, and what a lot of people notice, they might say, "Oh yeah, but like it's a bit inactive." Oh yeah, but like I don't think they're doing well because they're not in game, or you know, that problem is not their problem. Like that problem is about version 2 and about like because like there is no purpose for the game, so it gets boring. and their quota is like let's say 3 hours a week, for example. So they have to just to be like 3 hours in game and do nothing. That's really boring. So I understand why, like sometimes they just don't join the game at all or don't do a lot of stuff. Because like it's just boring. And I don't blame them. It's just like the game, and it's our job, like mine and Zanance, and like developers or Wacky to fix it.
Right. Are there any plans for mobile support for vehicles or more air vehicles? Because currently we just have Marine One being expertly flown around by our trusty National Guard. But are there any more vehicle plans? Maybe more Chinooks, Black Hawks, Little Birds?
Uh, yes, I mean, we are focusing on like making just the game playable on mobile as well. So you'll be able to like drive cars on mobile. You'll be able to shoot on mobile, like have a better the gun system fix it to an actual like mobile gun system. So like we'll have two systems, and the car system like will really change to a mobile system where people can drive. But like as I said, we need to fix our cars first, and then we could focus on our systems. So if you're asking like when this update will happen, it will probably like happen like till July, August, something like that.
Are there any plans on rerunning advertisements again?
Yes. Yes, especially since now with everybody with school and stuff, it's ending. Some people are on their last week of school. Some people stop going to school next month with the summer break. We're definitely going to run some advertisements so that way we can have more people join the community, because that's pretty much the best time when everybody's free.
Um, since a lot of we have National Guard, that's a detachment of the military, but I'd say that in Secret Service at times you need them as well. So actions such as saluting or standing at ease, is that something we're looking on being added in the future to USSS?
Yeah, for sure. We will have our own system for that. So like it looks more professional. But yes, like it will get added.
A suggestion we have here, that I personally really like, is possibly incorporating a fan art channel, because everything cannot make it up to propaganda, and people can at times make GFX or small fan art, those who really love the community, and USSS can possibly feature those or maybe even use some of those to their advantage. What do you think about that?
Oh, yes. Okay. Honestly, I'm so down for it. I love seeing how creative people can be, and I think having a fan art channel would really spark people's creativity and maybe bring more interest into the game and whatnot. Especially like if people make memes. I love memes, so bring it on in. I think maybe after this we can talk about bringing up the fan art channel and we can start that.
I do have to credit, I don't know how to pronounce the username, EXEELLS, for that suggestion. That did sound weird, but unfortunately I don't want to mess up the pronunciation and get a target on my back. For those asking about updates to CSR and the departments again and the cars, you can watch the stream. It will be up on my channel later on, so after this is over you can go up to my channel. It will be linked, I believe, in community announcements, and you can go there and watch the stream over again and get the answer to your questions. If you've suggested a question and it hasn't been asked yet, chances are something like it or that exact question has already been asked. Right, moving on. Let's see here. Oh, we have some lovely fan art for Wacky here. I will be sending it to Wacky and we can get your live response on stream.
Wait.
While that happens, this is a bit of a far-fetched
Yes, so I saw that. Lovely.
Air Force One. You might have heard this a lot, but Air Force One and airport, that side of things, is that a possibility? It is a far-fetched and very lag-intensive idea, but is that something we could be looking at in the future?
Yes, but like the problem is that the map isn't like really big enough for that. So we might add it, but like the speed will be not too fast. So like you will take off with the speed like up 30 knots. You know, that's not a lot. But like the normal takeoff speed is like 130. But we have to reduce that and make like the plane go like maximum 50 knots. You know, because the map is just not long enough for not big enough for like planes to just go around and fly around.
Does the former staff role have any chances of coming back? I personally am very keen to see what the answer to this one is.
Oh boy, that's that's a lot of people that would be receiving that role. If we were to add it, it would be more cosmetic. It wouldn't be something. I don't think it would be something that we would put like on the Discord server list where you would scroll down and be able to see them, but more like of a cosmetic. And we'd probably have some restrictions to that role, like maybe HQ plus or whatever, or if they were high com plus, and depending on how long they've had it, if we were to add that role. So, I mean, that's still up in the air, but yeah.
Yeah, also another plan that we can do. It was told by someone from CIA. They said like, what if we have a role like that, but just for people who still want to like help, like the next leader on how they can like lead their department. So we might do something like that, you know, like where former staff will have the role for like a month, so they will be able to help the new staff to start everything up, and then like it will get removed. But yeah, like it's just a small chance of that actually happening.
Let's turn to the audience currently seated here at Masap and Waki's interview. Right, you guys. What are our... do we have any questions from this audience? Anyone here? I'll be looking at you guys. Meanwhile, I'll ask you guys a question. We have money in game at the moment. What's the plan with that at the moment? I believe you cannot buy a lot of things with that. But what do we think will be happening with money?
I mean, as I said, the purpose of this game is going to be money. So, like, people will be working for money, and with money, they'll be able to buy, like as I said, houses, guns, cars, vehicles, helicopters, stuff like that. But like that will be added after like a few months because we cannot do all this work in just like a month, you know. Or if we could do that, it will cost us like a lot of money. So we have to just like you guys have to wait for a few months till you can actually start using your money. But in the next update, we can promise that we can add some stuff for you to buy, but not like every single thing that I have said.
Right. No questions from the audience? Should I take the camera back to Amar and Waki? While we wait on that. Let's see. I did get a question, yes. Is there any sort of thing... what's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food is sushi.
Oh, yes, I can
like
fully agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
okay, I have two favorite foods. My first one is my absolute favorite. It's grilled cheese with tomato soup. And my second favorite food is shepherd's pie.
Tomato. It's tomato. Will we be getting any... Sorry. Will we be getting a thing such as a money boost in game, possibly? Because at the moment, people are earning low sums. So, possibly a boost, maybe some way to buy a game pass, get more money, 2 times multiplier. Maybe on completing tasks, you get a money boost, something like that.
That
Yeah.
is
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I don't want to make the group seem super pay to win because it's not. Deep down, it's not. But I mean, if people are willing to like want to pay money to do that, then I mean it's a possibility that that could be added. There will be many ways to earn money in game too. Each department will be receiving tasks and stuff, including the president and vice president. There might be locations they need to go to or something they with to quote unquote like sign papers or whatever, just to enhance the role play experience and make it so it's different from other games.
What's your favorite thing to watch on television?
I mean, I don't really watch TV. Um, but like my favorite series was Breaking Bad. Watching it on Netflix, it is like really cool. So yeah, that's that.
SpongeBob SquarePants, is it?
My favorite television show, I don't watch TV either. I know I'm pretty lame, but I will say the last thing I've watched was Rick and Morty, and I'm on season 2 of that right now.
Alright, give us a laugh. Give us your best joke.
Oh god, I cannot come up with jokes at all.
I am the joke.
Round of applause.
Perfect.
Oh dear, we have a joke in the audience here. What do you call a cow with no legs? I don't like where this is going. Ground beef. It's funny.
Okay.
I think that's enough audience questions.
Okay.
Right. Let's see here. We did have a lot more questions. We have a bunch of more questions. We will go back to community questions possibly in a minute. Just give me one moment and let me run through these. Okay. Get out. Okay, thank you. What's your favorite animals?
I mean, mine is a cat because I have a cat myself. Like he doesn't like me at all. He's like all day outside, but he's kind of like nice, you know.
I like otters because they snuggle.
The sea otters, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so cute. Yes. Dama, your question has already been answered. Will Agency Command get more duties and responsibilities?
Yes. That was brought up previously by Amar with like mentioning Special Agent in Charge. I don't know if they're considered Agency Command, but like Special Agent in Charge will have some scenarios where they'll be able to bring up through like a script, being able to control in command Secret Service. This will be the same for like CRO Plus. They'll be able to do kind of the same things. They'll just get more opportunities and more things to do, or have a different job relating to that.
Right. Now, the game obviously development, if I'm being honest, is a bit slow. And a lot of people have noticed that and they do speak out at times. Don't you think a development planner would be a good suggestion that could be publicly available so everyone knows how the game is going? If I'm not wrong, that used to be something a long time ago and now it no longer is anything that's usually updated. So maybe putting up a development planner that people can look at and check on and see how the game's doing development wise and what's there to come and look forward to.
Yes, I mean, this will be added. Like we have a Trello board where we post all our stuff on, but it's not public yet. Like we still have to make that public and announce to the public. But yes, like it will be a thing, like within this month. Just like the thing what we're waiting on is to see if all these plans are going to happen or not, and if it's and like if we have enough money for it. And after that, after like we check everything, we will be able to like make it public.
I'm sorry, where has Wacky gone?
Uh-oh. I'm still here.
Oh.
Where has she run off to?
Here.
Ah, welcome back. Right.
I don't know where I went.
let's move on to the. I will give you a question, and then we'll move on to the community questions. Community sitting bits behind us. If you have any questions, speak up. Other than that, what are you guys' opinions on hedgehogs?
They're cute. I want one. Now that you bring that up.
What about you, Amasab?
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm typing up something.
Okay. Will you ever add back the co-owner game pass?
Oh, jeez. I don't think so. No. But there are a lot of game passes. I'm sure somebody's going to ask this later. There are a lot of game passes from V1 right now that that don't exist or don't transfer over to V2. Just to answer that question, you'll be not compensated, but like there'll be something to replace those game passes if you've already purchased them. It might not be like exactly what you paid for, but there'll be some kind of compensation for that.
All right. AC Dog, your question has been answered. What about the CIAs and MPDs standing around right now? Do you guys have any questions? If you do, you can just type it where you are, and I can probably just come to you. I will be looking out for speech bubbles. Question we were asked though: are there any plans on giving people admin perms in the private servers?
So like private servers, yes, that seems logical because people when they buy a private server, like they should have all like commands to run everything, and like be able to do anything in their private server. So we might like script a system when like you buy a private server, you'll be able to have commands in your own private server.
These will not include moderation commands, by the way. Like, so you can't ban people or warn people.
If you get commands in private servers, you can remove your warnings. Yes, that is a concern Wacky just addressed. Are there any plans for any new divisions in the MPD? Or in any department in general?
Yes. The senior logistics are actually working on some new like side divisions. So for example, in NG, we are working on some side divisions that we are going to release, or has already been released. We still have just to like rename the groups and all. But like same thing with MPD, CIA. They're like working on some stuff. CIA might like merge two stuff in one. So it's just like you'll have to wait and see if it's actually becoming a thing or not.
Right. We remember the Iranian embassy was a thing in the last V1. Is there any plans to bring back embassies in any way?
I mean, that might be an option, but I don't think you will have that. But we can like think about it. If some of you have like a good plan and introduce it to us, then we can add it. Sure.
Right. Let's see here. Keycard systems were quite useful in V1. Why they're gone in V2? What's up with that? The new gate timers, I'd say I personally and a lot of other people are not a fan of them because they randomly kill your car. But with the keycards, are there any chances of those coming back?
I mean, key cards have been a problem in V1 because you could have just like give your key card to someone who doesn't have access to anything, and then like you'll be able to have access to every like side of the like every gates and stuff. So that was like the reason why we removed key cards, but we were bringing back like kind of ID thing where you can access stuff with your ID. So like you don't have to like equip your uh, um,
Wacky has died.
card to yeah. someone just looks wacky. But you don't have like to actually equip your card and just like put it um in a gate to actually access it. It's just like it goes by script that like it reads your ID and then like the gate will open for you if your ID matches up with the script.
Right. Yes, people do like you a lot, Wacky. Yes, Wacky, please. God is nice. What? That sounded weird. What's next on our Q&A questions? Yes, we have a very important question. Amasa, Wacky, this is a question I believe this interview is centered around upon. I believe all the other questions don't mean anything compared to this one.
Okay.
You need to listen very closely, and I need you to really think up of your response, because this could determine the future of USSS. This is very important.
Okay.
What is your opinion on me?
Oh, that is a very tricky question. Who should start?
Ladies first, am I right?
Go ahead.
Shadow, you were under my wing for quite some time. And honestly, I really like you. You are awesome. You did so much for National Guard. And I really, 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 really appreciate you for taking care of National Guard while I couldn't. You were amazing. I was not able to see everything that you have done, but I already know it was amazing. Everybody loves you. Everybody, stands you. They want to be like you. And now that you're stepping up to be part of media and, doing these kinds of things with us, I really appreciate that you care about the community so much to the point that you're out doing these things and helping us interact more with the community ourselves.
Amma?
My opinion on Shadow. I mean, I'm gonna be very honest. It's not like because we're doing this interview, I'm gonna be like, oh, he's super nice. But my honest opinion about Shadow, like Shadow is a very trustful person. Like I can really trust Shadow on the things that we do in USSS. Like I even ask Shadow for advice sometimes, as like me, a federal overseer. I ask people in the public about advice, and you guys may not see that because it's kept private. So like every single case I ask someone about, it kept private, and I do ask Shadow a lot of times about what the next move might be or what's smart for the public. And Shadow actually like gives me good answers, and I can really trust him with these decisions, as well as with the media team. Him doing like interviews, Shadow doing like these interviews with us. It's really cool, and I really appreciate Shadow being here and actually like doing these stuff. So yeah, like thank you, Shadow.
Oh, I'm blushing. Oh, I love you guys. Alright, we should probably stick to the questions. Let's see here. Will CIA be allowed to enter the National Guard again? I believe that's a divisional question, is it not?
I mean, why? Just why?
No,
That's my answer. Why?
That is a question with no further explanation. Oh yes, credits to Defined Visual for pushing me to ask the question about me and get very self-esteemed. Yes, the recap will be available. The questions are being live streamed on my channel, and when this is over, the video will be there on the channel. You can at any time go to my profile, go to my channel, go into live streams, and it will be there, this entire recording, unedited as it is. So any questions that were asked, any questions that you might have, will most likely have been answered in this. You can go search through the video, find your answer, and be a happy little lad. Oh, lovely question. What Roblox game is this? This is White House Simulator.
You should join.
Yes, you should. This best game, crazy 100%. Will the POTUS and VP get more things to do in game?
Yeah, that's adding on to what I mentioned earlier with tasks. For president, we're looking forward to hiring a scripter who can create some type of script so that way the president can announce public announcements themselves. They don't have to rely on executive staff for, oh, I need to host a, what is it, a meeting or whatnot, with a cabinet meeting, or even like a, what is it called? Press conference. Yeah. So they'll be able to announce those themselves. Same with the vice president. And then, like I mentioned earlier, with tasks, we're looking forward to having it so in order for the president or the vice president to earn money from those tasks, maybe they have to be driven in the beast and reach a specific destination and interact with something there, or even interact with something on their desk, like signing papers, and just to make it more role play friendly and also a little more realistic.
Right. Now, I think we've answered enough questions from the community, but it's really important to have a two-way connection with your community, I believe. So, Amasap and Wacky, I ask you this. To the 38 people in my audience and 21 people in my stream, not big numbers, but considering USSS still pretty good number, do you have any questions for them? Anything you would like to ask the community?
I'd like to ask, what do you think of us? Like, how do you think that we are doing? Do you enjoy having us around as your management? What are things that we can improve on? You know, I always take feedback and I always appreciate receiving feedback like that.
I like you
Yeah,
guys,
same
you're
thing here.
active and talk to us. Sorry, I'm just narrating the responses we're getting.
Yeah, no worries. Same thing here. I mean, I'd like to know what people think of me as a federal overseer. I've been a federal overseer for like 1.5 years. I've tried to be as fair as possible. But there were some struggles first year because like the first 8, 9 months because Sharrock's ladder was above me and I was not allowed to do a lot of stuff. I was very limited. So I'd like to point.
Amma, you've flagged out, I believe. That's sad. Amma has left us for the better. Fortunately, right. Um, though getting a lot of things that this is a good question. Tag 3, who is the best former HQ? Wacky.
Me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm kidding. Honestly, there's so many HQ. I honestly can't remember them all.
I want you to actually create your own opinion on what I'm saying based on facts, not on like what you feel like, on facts. Because stuff that you feel, I mean, just feelings are not really the way how you should do leadership, or else like you will just crash like instantly. It's really about like the mindset that you have and how you're facing with facts and not making problems just bigger and bigger, like how Roblox and Prod used to do. I'd like to point that out as well. And actually focus on like fixing problems and making them smaller, not actually making things complicated. So that's what I've been trying to do for the past like year and a half. And I'll like your honest opinion on this, on my story, on how I was doing,
For the people asking for the name, the ones who are not in the community channel and in the audience, just tell them like my username Shadowwave. If they type in YouTube, it'll show up. Just some questions. I must have you lagged out earlier. People were saying y'all are great, y'all are amazing, y'all are the best something. I forgot what that message was. I am sorry. You cut out and I forgot what the message was that they said. Who is your best former HQ, Amasap? I'm actually already answered, but what about you?
The best former HQ, and this is not because like we were friends or anything, but it's pretty much Lord Driven, 108. My previous AFO, because Lord Driven and I have been in this community for a long time, and Lord Driven like actually like understands what I mean, like my ideas. He actually is like I didn't need to say anything, and he would already like get what I meant. So like, and we weren't friends before any of that. So it's really about like leadership because I think that he like really understood leadership, and that is like pretty much it. Like Lord Jeevan was really like a good member.
Right. Moderation. Please do deal with the police car thing. Any other
Also,
question?
I see here like people asking out of everyone. No, like there are other people. Like there are a bunch of former HQs who have been doing like a great job. Like Hit before like Hit. For example, like he resigned a few weeks ago, but Hit was also like really good member, you know, and like a bunch of people like for example, like even Captain Away, like he was an actual good senior logistics of CIA a long time ago. So it's not like out of everyone, but it's just really that Lord Jeevan was the one, you know.
Right. Do you have any more questions for the community?
I don't.
Maki?
Don't either. No.
I would like to request, what do you call it, Marine One to land right behind the stage. And I would like to request the protecting details, CIA, MPD, anyone who is protecting us throughout this event to join Amasap and Wacky on a wedge in front of the stage and with all the audience to assemble in a box formation or whatever behind them as a conclusion to this stream. Let me talk on my free cam. Shall we?
All right, let's go.
I think here should be good. They can stand on the hedges, I believe. Rather, what I believe should be good rather than a wedge is if these guys line up on the hedges and just us three wedge up front here. Do you think that would be better?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Amasap and Wacky, you guys can wedge on me. Everyone else, you can line up on the hedge. Just stand on the hedge and face forward. Come on, Ama, Wacky. Us three wedge up here. All the audience, all the protecting members, Marine One, please, if you could land behind us, that would be great. Behind the stage. And I would really like to credit MPD, Drill Stamp, CIA, Redhead Cider. Their interview was posted a few days ago. A Secret Service Destroyer. I do not know if he is with us here today. One moment, let me check the audience. I don't believe so. Immortal from National Guard, and everyone has tag 3, Dhamma, and I believe that's all HQ, all the HICOM, all the VPs, agents, everyone who showed up. Thank you so much. If you guys could, those who've lined up on the hedges, you can come a bit forward, come closer to the wedge. You don't have to stand so far back. You can fill the gaps. It's fine. Marine One, shout out to Mackie for flying around for so long, just filling in the shots. And obviously the biggest thank you goes to Amasap and Wacky for taking out their time today and joining us for this event. Let us go into free cam and we take some wonderful screenshots. Though I believe, Amar and Wacky, if you can take some screenshots, that would be nice, because I do not know if my software will stream and take screenshots at the same time. I'm just gonna send one to the first DM I opened to make sure there's some where they're saved. Right. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today. You were all a wonderful audience. It was great having you lot around. MPD, CIA, thank you so much for your protection. National Guard, thank you so much for maintaining the perimeter. It was lovely having you guys around. As for the stream, I hope to see you all again next time in our next live session, question and answer with the next community.